Good evening, gentlemen. Today we are going to discuss about the topic is 3.9, where in this 3.9.1 environment protection, 3.9.2 is the principles and practices for prevention and control of air pollution, water pollution, solid and hazardous waste management, and 3.9.3 is the cleaner technology. First of all, we'll go to the environment protection. This is a very important topic where we need to go um, just like that, and we will be discussing wherever when necessary. We will be discussing deep. Because nowadays, environmental protection by taking the SPCB as well as the CPCB and various agencies are there where they can take can care through the public, through the awareness, through the legislation, through the what is called standards. They'll be trying to protect the environment in order to save the ozone layer and the overall environment and the global warming also. Though the government or the uh, various agencies are taking much care on the environment, but industrialists are not taking much care as they are expected because of the uh, technologies involvement is not up to the mark because of the financial criteria. Even some of the industries have given some the subsidy also, but they are not taking much on the uh, 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 prevention side also. They are creating, why should we spend like this? But alternatively, they cannot finalize the organization also through the inspector of factories, through the SPP and CBCB. They are very nominal taken care of, due to which the much strict is also not there from the legislation side, as well as the agency side, as well as the organization side also. The public also to get the awareness is important, but we cannot comment on public because the lot of educational variance is there for the public also. But the villages and all these things, towns, metropolitan cities, etc. So therefore, the environmental protection per topic is industrial safety, environmental protection are intertwined and attached together each other, ensuring safe workplace also safeguards safeguards the environment, and vice versa. Once they use the workplace safeguards, the environment will protected. Environment is also will cooperate with the safeguards what we are provided. The give and take method. This involves and identifying the and mitigating the potential hazards, adhering to the regulations, and implementing practices that minimize pollution and the resource depletion. This is very important word. This involves the identifying and mitigating the potential hazards also. That means the consequences will be reduced of the risk happened due to the hazards. Adhering to the regulations also, implementing the regulations part by the regulation list, and the implementing practices, good management practices, ultimately to minimize the pollution, and the resource saving is also very important. That's called resource depletion. Because resource depletion means some of the things what is called taking care of, we are buying that what we are resources. That not the resources we called as. Buying is your what is called criteria or your need of the hour. But you are digging the coal from the earth. You are extracting the oil from the earth. You are extracting the mines from the earth. You are extracting the limestones from the earth. There you are resource taking from the environment. Again, we have to given back in other way how to compensate the depletion that we have to do. Here, more detailed look at the work at a glance, we can tell overlapping concerns. These are the overlapping concerns. Second one is the key areas of focus. That means overlapping the concerns means there are the concerns are there where the overlapping is there. One man is saying, one agency is taking the care of, but other man is taking care of the, you know, what we call this wastage of this. That's why they are not a similar way. That's are the overlap in the concerns here. Worker safety and environmental protection is very important. Pollution prevention is very important. These are the overlapping concerns. Hazard identification, risk case management, the compliance with regulations. These are the four important areas. The overlapping concerns is because the overlapping means the worker safety, if you take, definitely it will be taken care of environmental protection. Unless otherwise, if you are not taking the environmental protection methods like good management practices and implementing standards and legislations and all, the worker safety is not at all, it is there. That means health is deteriorated also. So both are overlapping. If we are not, the industry is taking care of this, it will be affected. These people are not taking care of the industry, provided the good management practices, they are not practicing. The other way, environmental protection will not be there, vice versa. A safe workplace often translates to safe environment and vice versa. That's what I told. Pollution prevention also, second one is
वहाँ
industrial.
नीचे देता है ना, राजस्थान में 24 घंटे खुला रहता है।
uh, Industrial pollutions can release the pollutant into the air, water, and soil, impacting the both worker health and environment. Because if you not prevent what is the good management practice provided by the in the industrial, the worker is not satisfied or not participating or not involving in this. Therefore, the prevention will not be taken care of. Whatever it releases, the pollutants into air and water and soil, impacting both not only worker health but also the environment is spoiled because slowly water table to around your workplace will be polluted if you are not taking care of the air, water, soil pollutions and all. Therefore, this is also a overlapping concern. Is it? The hazard identification risk assessments, I don't think these 55 to 60% of the industries can accommodate hazard identification risk assessment, but other 45 to 50 percentage of the organization, they don't know what is the hazard identification risk management also. Because normally they have a certificates of ISO, but ISO is based on the uh, only the what we call the risk management only, because the preventive action is removed from the ISO standards by the agencies because of the any process involved after taking care of the risk study, then only we have to in, involve the SOP, implement the OCP, or implement the good management practices. But I don't think the 45 to 50% of the organizations has not taken much care on this respect. Identifying and managing. Another way also, the agencies also not insisting the insisting the industries to do the same. Identifying, managing hazards, whether they pose, that means they create risks or they introduce risk to workers or the environment is crucial for both safety and environment protection. If you are not taking the managing the hazards, definitely it will be both the way it is affecting not only the environment but also the workers' health will be deteriorated. Thereby, the attention towards the process of the workplace by him is reducing, thereby efficiency of the organization is reducing. Slowly, it deteriorates the efficiency also. The compliance with the regulations is the other part because of the so many standards are there with respect to environment and so many canvassing is also there from the government, various state government as well as central government. But how far it is implemented depending upon the industrialists as well as the industrial monitoring agencies like State Pollution Control Board, Central Pollution Control Board, we can say the Green Tribunal and the Disaster Management, Inspector of Factories. Various agencies are there, and some of the workmen are not knowing the where how many agencies also there. They are not creating any awareness. If you create the awareness, they thought that workers are getting educated and they're creating a lot of inviting problems and inviting the what we call wishes. They are having that much of negative sense. Still, the industrialists are having. The workers are educated much. Their wishes is more. Not wishes is more. Their wishes means towards the organization improvement, not toward their house improvement, not toward the individual improvements. That they have to industrialists has to think about. But they have to think about the always the what we call the financial only. Another way, the government is also giving more subsidy towards the environment also. If the towards the cleaner technology, what are the additional equipments if you take, definitely it will be helpful for the organization. But how far the organization is compliance with the regulations, we have to have a lot of questions in our mind. So that though we are not in a position to point out the industrialist. The areas of the focus is very important apart from the overlapping concern. At a glance, I am telling all these things, and not limited to these four, but any other overlapping concerns in your idea. Maybe what is called it will be taken into consideration. Key areas of focus where we have to focus as an industrialist, as an employee of the organization, as a supervisor of the safety, or supervisor of the employee of the workplace, due to we are staying in the same environment, we have to see the areas to be focused. Hazardous materials, water waste management, pollution control, emergency preparedness, and the sustainable practices. Key areas of focus is continued training and awareness. Their education is also very important. How far they are utilizing the training is also important. Monitoring and reporting is also one of the important areas of focus. And ultimately, the environment, health, safety, management systems involvement is also or implement is also very important by the organization. So, first of all, if you take the hazardous materials, proper handling, storage, and disposal of hazardous materials are essential for both worker safety as well as environmental protection. Fortunately, it is very happy to inform that hazardous materials information through Google or through the APPCB, through the CPCB, lot of documents are involved in their portals, in their APPCB portals, as well as every state portals or state portals and central portals. Lot of information is there to taken care of not only in handling, but our storage, disposal, and the what we call the potential hazards measures, safe prevention methods. Everything is information is there, but they have to download this, and the industrialist has to taken care of the implementation part in their organization. Industrialists may be not knowing, but the top management and people bottom of the what is called bottom the CEO, that people have to be very educated, but they have to create an environment awareness among the employees as well as the management also. The waste management is very important. How you are implementing the effective waste management practices, including reducing, reusing, and recycling, and the crucial minimizing and the environmental impact also. Here only we are heard so many from the so many years about the 3 hours, but now it is coming the 4 hours, 5 hours also there. In coming slides, we will be discussing that also. Therefore, we have to see that waste management practices, how to reduce the resource management. That means raw materials usage and purchasing equipment and purchasing the materials and utilizing in the process in optimum way and see the efficiency of the utilization, and in order to not to waste the raw materials by pouring into the containers. Through the containers, through the conveyors, we have to see, and also the how best we can reduce the percentage of the utilization of the raw materials for getting the product is also very important without compromising the specification of the product, because the customer requirement will be taken care of. And reusing is also very important. Once the resizing or sizing is taken place or segregation is taken place by the raw material, again the unwanted size, or we can say the more size or the less size, how we can use in the system is also very important to be designed in the process management. Not only the reducing but also reusing the wastage with, instead of keeping on the floors years to the days together, and then it will be sweeping and sending to the disposal. No, immediate we have to see that on the floor you have to use some cleaner technologies, and immediately we have to see that that material should be reused in the system itself. And the recycling is also important. Reusing and recycling, lot of things are there. Here reusing means while processing the or while reducing the raw material, there are some oversize or the inferior size will be there. That again system will be used is reusing in a different way. And second one is recycling means once the product is formed, or once the what is called the product is what is called the semi product is formed, if we are not achieving the any what we call the specifications what we designed, again it should be recycled. No doubt these two are definitely the financial recovery is there, but in this financial recovery is not there, because once we are supervision is not there, monitoring is not there. That's why the specification is not reached due to the human error, due to the practices, due to the process involved, due to the raw materials inferiority, or mixing of the superiority and inferiority is also will be there. For example, the coal-fired boilers, if you see that some of the industries are both the indigenous and so what we call the imported coal also mixing. That's not the proper way to handle it, the coal. Normally out there getting over advisor, I don't know, but importing coal is having different specifications, and the indigenous coal is different. They cannot mix together. In batch ways, they can prepare to get the steam in the boiler. These three are very crucial steps to reduce the waste management or to minimize the environmental impact is also there. Of course, all will know, but how best we have a chance to implement is also one of the questions. As a supervisor myself in our organization, suppose I'm having the limited area to taken care of the much steps, but I cannot influence the my head or the top management to do the best way to reduce, because my role is not permitting to go beyond that. That's why I am asking, I'm telling everywhere in meetings, everywhere in forums, I told immediate after the top management, what are the management staff is there. They're all highly educated. From there, they have to get the awareness from them to bottom. That is very important. What CEO today is coming to duty and get it signed by some of the documents, I will go to the some other place. But immediate the bottom manager is always taken care of the management systems. They are, they are the better role to taken care of. As a supervisor, we cannot much role beyond that, because that's why the role, responsibility, and the accountability is there. That's why our role is not allowed to go beyond that. But as myself, as in a next to CEO, I'm the best man to control the good management practice of the organization. How best I can see, how best I can manage the environment uh, to see the all these steps, like for example, the awareness of among the people, environmental protection, and reuse, recycle, and the best optimum efficiency will be achieved. Thereby, pollution control will also be there. Emergency preparedness is also very important, because every industry is having the emergency preparedness response procedure, where in this emergency response team is also there, and the organization chart is also there, apart from the normal process organization, apart from the safety organization chart. But ERT, that means emergency response team organization team, is very, very important to take its role at the time of emergency to address the people, not only address the people, address the waste, address the spills and all these things. How best we can reduce the protection environment and avoid the safety risks also. Developing the implementing and emergency plans to address potential spills, releases, or releases means gases, fuels, steam, vapors, everything, or dust, or accident is crucial for minimizing the environmental safety risks, because we have to develop the implementing the emergency plans to avoid or to address the potential spillages. Potential spillage means the spillages cannot be avoided. It can be spilled. Immediately that spills will be taken care of immediately after the spill on the ground. Releases also we cannot avoid, but releases how can tap the back to the system is important. Thereby reducing the accident is also crucial steps to minimize the environmental protection as well as the safety risks also. Sustainable practices means very, very important word is sustainable means it's a permanent implementation procedures, day by day improving methods to be implemented. One good management practice is always years together is not supposed to be. It should be reviewed every month whether the good management practices it will serve our purpose or not. Just like that, the good management practices having the only the eye wash method or the only documented advice, no useful for the environmental protection. That's why that practice is supposed to be sustainable. The sustainable means practice is very perfect, and every practice daily monitoring is very, very important. Whether it is serving our purpose or not, that is very, very important. Adopting the sustainable practices such as using renewable energy. That means how much the tapping of energy and reuses into the system. Therefore, the efficiency calculations will be informed
Sir,
whether.
for
Yes,
sir,
sir.
example, heat recovery, exhaust
Exactly, sir. Heat recovery is
calculation.
also. Yes, yes. Yes, sir. It's a renewable energy sources means it's a recovery, waste recovery boiler, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Rapshidas garu.
Hmm.
So, adopting sustainable practices such as using renewable energy sources, reducing the resources consumption. Already told the how much reducing is important, because they always we have to see that the quality or inferiority of the raw material is very, very important to instead of taking care of the product specification. If you want to change these product specifications, we have to concentrate on the raw materials existing, how best it is giving support to the specification changing into the product. That is very important. That's why the raw materials are changing every year by all the organization and seeing the importance of the product specification depending upon the product development also. So adopting sustainable practices such as using renewable sources, renewable energy sources, reducing the resource consumption can significantly reduce the environmental impact of industrial activities. If you see that while calculating the efficiency calculations at the end of the year while submitting the tax or the what we call the yearly report to the agencies, they're waiting for the April to March. First, previous year April and next year of March. No, sorry. Every month you have to calculate the efficiency levels in each product development, each raw material structures, each what is called the usage of the uh, raw materials in the process, and the process efficiency is also every month has to study in such a way we have to encourage the employment and the involvement of the people is also very important. That depends upon the top management practices only. It's not just by born the environment, just by born the workforce will not get, unless otherwise there is some implementation methods from the top to bottom, then only we will get advantages. It's a very wide subject in this environment. And apart from this, the key areas of focus, apart from these things, there are other things also there. Of course, this is training and awareness every industry is providing. But the how best documented wise we are providing the training and awareness, they are seeing by the adult department and top management. But if you see the how best they are educated by implementing their practices, by gone back to their departments after the training, whether the attitude is changes or the implementation practices changes, that they have to, head of the department has to verify individually and closely is very important, because how much the how much the financial impact using by the organization or by the top management with respect to training awareness is lot I can say, because the external faculty has to say, has to engage, and external what is called the expertise will be engaged, and the internal faculty is also engaged by leaving their process department. These are all things are taken care of there, not only working hours, they are tapping their experience also with respect to training and awareness providing to the workmen. But that tapping of the energy by the trainers, that should be useful for the environment or useful for the department is very important. That is the reason every department head has to, the pulse rating or the behavior of the employee after training is employed in the by the his employees, whether the behavior is changed or not, that we have to see. Whether educated from these two or not, we have to see for time being. At least after 1 year also, the worker is changing in implementing his procedure in the workplace. That is maintained by the, or this is observed by the head. That is more than enough. Monitoring a report is also important. Regularly monitoring environmental performance. That's what I told. Not only waiting for the April to March, but every April ending, then May, then see what is the monthly variance is there in all aspects of the things. Normally, industrialists are looking after the only financial, but we have to see that how much the environmental performance is improvement is, that should be taken care of. For example, emission levels through ESPs, emission levels from the back filters, and the emission levels in the thermal conductivity from the boilers, and the occupational health is also very important by the yearly testing of the worker, uh, uh, what we call the report. Example, the as per the Factories Act, we have to take the test, medical test for the employees for every year. That is also depending upon, or that is also giving some your pulse rate, or you can diagnosis will be taken care of with respect to environmental performance also. Not only limited to the technical
But sir,
aspects.
sir, being as a worker, it is come under environment protection.
Exactly, sir. See, for example, you are a safety supervisor or you are a supervisor of that department. Surrounding your department, how best we can reduce the environmental performance or environmental what is called the improvement that should be taken care by you is enough for, because in your area is only you are responsible. But other department area you cannot have a responsible. But you are using the raw material by your department, giving the semi product to the other department is also environmental comes under. If you are not giving the semi product by using the optimum raw materials from the stores department, you are giving the semi product without having the any specification design to the next department. Next department is having by using the semi product, using their process efficiency is more. One way is losing the, not only you are losing the your department efficiency, but ultimately you are losing the other department information also. That means influencing the other department efficiency also. That's why your part is not only we have to see that I already told this ICOM is there. One box is there through the ISO. I can tell you in the box inside we can tell process management, that is a process requirement, and that side is input, that is raw materials. This dash is, this one is output is the product. By using this input optimally, you are getting the design product very good. Optimum product is good. But how best you can utilize your controls, how best you can utilize your means. Controls means your procedure, your design aspects, your literature, your operating procedures, your SOP, your guidelines is called controls. Cannot control your through C of the specification, you cannot get the optimum product. Therefore, input, output, and controls. Okay, these three are there. But by whom you are getting the product? By whom? By using the controls also? By means. I, C, O, M. By means by means of equipment, by means of trained people, by means of what is called the tools and tackles, by means of environment, by means of the facilities provided by the top management. These four are very, very important with your area of supervision, sir. That's why I'm requesting all the supervisors to taken care of. Every supervisor has to draw their ICOM. What is their department inputs? What is the same department output? What is the controls they have? What is the means they have? These ICOM is influencing your previous department, and the previous department influencing your process, and your process influencing the other department is also. That's why I'm addressing, I'm requesting all the gentlemen, not only your ICOM of your department, but also previous and the after department ICOMs is also known. Then you can have a better man to can control the environmental performance in your role only. That you can satisfied while going to home. That we got to see. Regularly monitoring environmental performance and reporting on compliance with the regulations is a crucial ensuring ongoing improvement. Ultimately, the last but not least, EHS management is very important. Implementing the effective environment, health and safety management system is very important, can help the organization proactively manage the risk and environment and the improve the performance also. Normally, first of all, they'll see the she also, they will tell. Some people are what HSC, health, safety, environment. Some people are EHS, but some people are what is called the what we call the health is important first. I'm sorry. This is the best sequence we can say. because normally most of the percent of the uh, technocrats of the scientists or technocrats of the management scientists, they agreed with the EHSM. That means environmental health safety management system is very important because, sorry, if you take the environment, definitely it will be taken care by the process effectiveness and the equipment awareness and the employee awareness also. That means you are taking care of the first environment. Automatically, if you are not taking care of health also, because of the environmental friendly methodology is there, friendly mechanism is there, automatically health of the employee will not be affected much unless the employee is having the individual or the personal habits are there, we cannot avoid. Then safety is automatically come because safety has to implement by the top management. Safety is always come the top to bottom only. These will be taken care of. Automatically, it will be taken care of. These two will be influencing this also by implementing the all the management system of the good management practices by the top management. Implementing the effective environment, health, safety management system can help organizations to proactively manage risks and improve performance is one of the best way to work. Therefore, at a glance, if you take the environmental protection, these two are very areas important. One is overlapping concerns and the key areas of focus. These are the very important areas. Definitely, it will be taken care of the environmental protection directly or directly. It will be aim to the objective will be reached. Now, directly going to the environmental protection in detailed way. Environmental protection includes programs, services, that means AHSMP, that means environmental safety management programs is there, and services that are aimed to reducing risks to the environment from the contaminants such as hazardous materials and wastes and fuel oils also important. In this, one of the things has to taken care of. The coming slides also will be coming. Environmental management system is also important. That's we call environmental performance management system, EMP we called as. EMP means environmental management program. Anything, if you take in the new activity or old activity, that is called environmental management practice. Environmental management practice means that the sequential steps is there to produce from raw material to product. That is called a environmental management program. With all what we call the designated time, designated responsibilities, and what we call that adapted time is also important. That is environmental management.